Welcome back to Drama Stories. Imagine showing up to a family healing dinner after 3 years of silence, only to find 16 relatives already devouring lobster tails, Wagyu steaks, and a $400 bottle of wine they started without you. Your father looks you dead in the eye and says, "You're paying, right? You owe us that much." What would you do? Run? Fold like always? Or finally set a boundary that changes everything? Today, Diana's story will hit you right in the chest. If you've ever been the family ATM, the fixer, the one expected to stay quiet and pay up, this one is going to wreck you in the best way. Stick around for the moment her father's credit card delivers the truth no one else would say. If you've ever been backstabbed by the people who were supposed to love you most, if you've fantasized about the perfect, quiet revenge that reclaims your dignity without raising your voice, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment your own story below. We're diving deep into this one. Let's begin. My name is Diana. I'm 32, and I run operations for a restaurant group that seats 3,000 people a week across 4 locations. I know how a check moves from kitchen to table, the way most people know how to tie their shoes. So when my parents called after 3 years of total silence and invited me to dinner to make amends, I should have asked one question before I said yes. Who's really at that table? I didn't ask. I drove 40 minutes to the Belvedere, walked through those heavy glass doors, and found 16 members of my family already seated around a long table covered in lobster tails, Wagyu, and a bottle of Bordeaux they'd been pouring before I even pulled into the parking lot. My father looked up from the head of the table, smiled, and said the words I'd spent my whole life earning. "You're paying, right? You owe us that much." He thought he'd cornered me. He hadn't counted on the 2 sentences I was about to whisper to our waiter, or on what his own credit card was about to scream to the entire family 15 minutes later. But let me back up. That Tuesday morning, I was in my office reviewing a vendor contract for imported olive oil. My phone buzzed. The group chat I'd been removed from 3 years earlier. The one with the little red heart emoji my mom picked added me back. Mom's message was warm, careful, almost rehearsed. "We've been reflecting. Dinner at the Belvedere? Just the 4 of us. Time to heal." Then, seconds later, "Family takes care of family, sweetheart." Those 5 words used to mean one thing in our house. Diana pays, pause for effect. I typed "I'll be there," set my phone down, and pretended my hands weren't shaking, because 3 years ago I had finally said no. My sister Brooke wanted to open a cafe. No business plan, no research. Just vibes just from a trendy spot in Charleston. She needed a $75 $0,000 loan with a cosigner. Me, I asked for the plan. Brooke stared like I'd slapped her. Mom's voice went ice cold. "She's your sister. You don't need a spreadsheet to love your sister." Dad pointed at the door. "If you won't help this family, you're not part of it." The next morning I was erased. No calls. No texts. I was the greedy daughter who loved money more than family. Here's the hard part. The silence almost broke me. Not because they were right, but because I missed being needed. I'd been the fixer since I was 17. First paycheck to groceries. Tax refunds to Mom's dental work. Dad's truck transmission. Brooke's wedding flowers. I trained them to treat my wallet like a vending machine. Insert guilt. Receive check. When the machine finally said "out of order," they unplugged it and walked away. Dr. Kwan, my therapist, helped me see it. "You taught them you'd always pay. That was your mistake to fix, not by paying more, but by stopping." My coworker Jess warned me. "This has ambush written all over it." My sous chef Marco said the same. But I went anyway. I wanted closure. I missed the mom who sang Dolly Parton while making cornbread. I wrote one rule on a sticky note. One dinner. Civil. No money. I dressed simply. Black slacks, gray blouse, the silver watch I'd earned. Drove in silence. My stomach tightened like it does before a Friday night kitchen disaster. I almost turned around. Almost. But I kept going. The parking lot was full of familiar cars. Way more than 4 people. My heart sank. Just the 4 of us, Mom had written. I sat there 2 full minutes rereading my sticky note. Then I walked in. The lobby smelled like rosemary, warm bread, and money. The hostess gave me that look. "Good luck." She led me back. I heard them before I saw them. Laughter. Clinking glasses. Aunt Linda's cackle, 16 chairs. Everyone filled except mine, directly across from Dad. Platters of lobster, Wagyu sliders, a massive charcuterie board, and that 42016 Bordeaux already half gone. They'd been there an hour. Ordering hard, Mom stood with open arms. Applause broke out. Actual applause. Like I was the prodigal daughter returning, not the villain they'd ghosted. Brooks smiled with teeth but no warmth. I sat. Smiled the way 15 years of front of house teaches you. Pleasant on the outside, while your brain runs threat assessment at full speed. Mom squeezed my hand. Family takes care of family. There it was again. Dad ordered more lobster, more Wagyu, another bottle of the good one. He flashed his credit card like a magician. But I noticed the dent in his old truck outside, Mom's cracked Coach purse held by a safety pin. This was performance. The small cuts started. Must be nice running fancy restaurants while we clip coupons. Don't you feel guilty? Brooke, she wouldn't know. She hasn't been around. I ordered only sparkling water. The contrast was poetic. 16 people swimming in luxury, me with my one quiet indulgence. Nathan, our young waiter, was handling the whole chaotic 16 top almost alone. I saw myself in him at 17. I told him he was doing great. He stood a little taller. Around the 40-minute mark, I excused myself to the restroom. That's when I saw Brooke's phone on the counter. Screen lit daisy stickers. Notification from a secret group chat called Dinner Plan. The preview. Don't tell Diana, it's everyone. Once she's there with the whole family watching, she won't dare say no. I picked it up, scrolled. The full plan unfolded. Coordinate the ambush. Order the expensive stuff early. Make sure she sits where Dad can pressure her. She'll be grateful we're even giving her this chance. Bank troubles. Diana can cover us through spring. My pulse stayed steady. I set the phone back exactly as I found it, washed my hands, looked in the mirror, and thought, I know what this costs. For the first time in 15 years, I'm not paying it. I walked back calm, kitchen before rush calm, everything in position. I started asking innocent questions. The answers confirmed everything. Cafe closed after 11 months. Dad between projects. Tight finances but nothing we can't handle. The pressure built with compliments that were really bricks in a cage. You really landed on your feet. Some of us aren't so lucky. Mom conducting it all like a pro. Dessert arrived. Brooke, wine loose, cracked. Relax, big sister. It's just dinner. You can afford it. We ordered the good stuff since you're treating. The table went quiet. Then Megan asked about my promotion. I answered factually. Regional Operations Director, 4 locations, staffing, vendors, financials, P&Ls. The word financials hit like a rock through glass. They recalibrated. They knew I was successful, but not how successful. Dad waited until the soufflé and creme brulee arrived, the second board empty. He folded his hands. Diana, you're paying, right? You owe us that much. 16 people heard it. The room heard it. I felt relief. The decision was made for me. I let silence stretch. 5 long seconds. Then I put my napkin down, smiled and said, let me go take care of things. They all exhaled, thinking I'd folded. Instead, I walked to the service station. Spoke quietly to floor manager David and Nathan. I'm not the host. I won't be covering this table. Bring the full check to the gentleman at the head whose card is on file, and split my sparkling water. Add 30% tip for the team. David read the situation instantly. Done. I paid my tiny check on the spot. Biggest tip Nathan had probably seen in a month. Back at the table, I sipped my water peacefully for 10 minutes, while they laughed and finished dessert, oblivious. Then Nathan approached and placed the massive leather check presenter directly in front of my father. The table died. Dad stared. Mom's eyes widened. He recovered, flashed the card again. I've got it, we're celebrating. Nathan returned. I'm sorry, sir, the card has been declined. Build the humiliation slowly. Run it again. Declined. Another card. Declined. A third. Declinstein forks stopped. No one moved. The pride of a 63-year-old man compressed in front of everyone. Dad looked at me. Raw. Desperate. Diana, please. We're drowning. Then. And you'd let us, even in crisis. Reaching for my wallet, not my hand, I stood calm. I don't owe you. I never did. This wasn't amends. This was a trap. I read their own words back. The secret chat, the plan. She can cover us through spring. The table went white. If you need real help, I'll sit with you and a financial counselor. No tricks, audience, no lobster. But I'm not paying this bill. You always said family takes care of family. So why was I the only one who ever did? I walked out. Nathan caught me. Thank you. I touched his shoulder. You're doing great. In the car, I left the group chat. The silence on the drive home wasn't nervous. It was mine. The aftermath proved everything. No real apologies except from Megan. Brooke later asked for rent money. I sent resources instead. Dad's business had collapsed. They downsized. I offered help on my terms. He hung up. The offer still stands. I learned the most expensive thing you can buy is other people's comfort with your silence. The night I stopped paying was the night I finally got rich. Helping is a choice, never a debt. A boundary doesn't have to be loud to be unbreakable. If you've been the family bank, hear this. Your worth is not your wallet. Outro music swells. If this story gave you that rush of justice and catharsis, smash like, subscribe for more raw revenge and redemption tales, and drop your own family story in the comments. I read them all. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Click the next video and keep reclaiming your power. I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, link, and subscribe my channel.